And now the news. Premier Dr. Orlando Smith has identified 10 main initiatives to reposition the British Virgin Islands financial services sector. Global management consultants McKinsey & Company has completed a financial services management consultancy of the BVI financial services sector, which was carried out between August and November 2014. Addressing a press conference on Thursday, April 23rd, Premier Smith announced the launch of the Financial Services Implementation Unit headed by Kedrick Malone. The unit is tasked with ensuring that the 10 priority areas are executed.
The first initiative is to revamp the International Finance Center and make it a focused, highly skilled unit that operates in line with international best practice. You would be aware that we have already rebranded the IFC to BVI Finance and are well on the way with this initiative, with other measures already underway. The Permanent Secretary, Mr. Project Penn, is the sponsor of this initiative. The second initiative is to build on the strength of the Financial Services Commission by strengthening the service culture and organization to improve process transparency, response time, and help provided to customers. The Managing Director of the FSC, Mr. Robert McTavish, is the sponsor of this initiative. The third initiative is to offer value-added services to our product offering by identifying and incentivizing top priority companies to attract those services to the jurisdiction in collaboration with the private sector. Mr. Neil Smith, the Financial Secretary, is the sponsor for this initiative. The fourth initiative on immigration seeks to bring immigration and labor policies and processes in line with international best practice to attract and retain the necessary skilled labor that will be needed to broaden and sustain a substantive offering. Attorney General Jerry Ferraro-Kerins is the sponsor of this initiative. The fifth initiative seeks to build local capability and talent by strengthening education at the secondary and tertiary levels, developing the Financial Services Institute, and overhauling internships and scholarship programs to bolster BVI Island talent, to sustain the industry in the long term, and create opportunities for BVI Islanders. Lorna Smith, Chair of the Financial Services Business Development Committee, is the sponsor of this initiative. The sixth initiative on business development is to establish dedicated business development capability to generate new product and customer ideas and strengthen the mandate of the Financial Services Business Development Committee. Permanent Secretary Mr. Project Penn is the sponsor of this initiative. The seventh initiative focuses on infrastructure and is to help accelerate critical infrastructure projects such as telecommunications and transportation needed to support the development of the economy. Financial Secretary Mr. Neil Smith is the sponsor of this initiative. The eighth initiative to engage the population is to identify current perceptions of financial services and educate and build awareness and understanding of the importance of financial services to the BVI, its impact on our daily lives, and its critical role in transforming the prosperity of the territory. Ms. Lorna Smith is the sponsor of this initiative. The ninth initiative on tax initiatives is to roll out FATCA requirements and lobby funds and the OECD to improve compliance ratings and the jurisdiction's reputation in the international financial services. Mr. Neil Smith is the sponsor of this initiative. The 10th initiative is to establish a dedicated unit staffed by world-class talent reporting at the highest level of government to coordinate and drive implementation of the report's recommendations across the financial services sector. Mr. Project Penn is the sponsor of this initiative.
Permanent Secretary in the Premier's office, Broderick Penn, pointed out that the territory's infrastructure and communication technology services need to be upgraded for BVI Finance to compete effectively globally. Financial Secretary Neil Smith elaborated on some of the basic but crucial areas that need to be addressed urgently.
Essentially, we need a telecommunications sector that allows us to compete seamlessly from the British Virgin Islands in the rest of the world. And we're not clear on the specifics of what that is yet, but we know, for instance, there'll be an increase in bandwidth, for example, that should be available to everyone. There's the issue of reliability, making sure the systems are always working. So it's not just in respect to the telecommunications alone, but there's also the power side as well. So you need to make sure that if you have a business in the British Virgin Islands, you need to be able to communicate seamlessly and continuously with anyone in the rest of the world quickly. And that is the basis of how we've been going forward with telecommunications, with the infrastructure initiative. Telecommunications actually is the biggest piece of that initiative. There are other issues we need to deal with too. There's a basic infrastructure in the country. Roads, water, sewage, you need to be able to get to the BVI, that's the airport. Those are basic things that we need to do. But the most probably critical one for us right now is to being able to just participate in the rest of the world through our telecommunications gateways in a seamless, reliable, and quick, efficient manner.
The new Financial Services Implementation Unit would be staffed by 6 professionals and would function for at least 2 years. Kedrick Malone says the Implementation Unit will be the hub for managing activities surrounding the proposals.
The delivery unit itself is essentially the nerve center of this entire operation. I think when you have an opportunity to look at the offices, it will essentially look like a war room where all of the initiatives will be tracked, monitored, and we will have the opportunity to see at any given time where each of those initiatives are. The unit is the essential role of the unit is to sort of spread the gospel about the needs, the changes that have been identified, to continue to work with the sponsors on the proposals that they will put forward to be implemented. The unit will oversee and direct the monitoring mechanism, working with senior officials within government to make sure that the officers within the various departments and the senior management connect to the initiatives that are being proposed. And that will be done, of course, with the support of the cabinet. The unit is also to ensure that there's accountability to cabinet for what has been agreed and to provide analytical support and recommendation to the various departments to make sure that the proposed changes are delivered and delivered on time. We have already begun the work. We are currently recruiting staff for the delivery unit. If you look in this week's paper, you'll see an ad for essentially 5 persons, 2 persons who are known as delivery specialists, who are responsible for coordinating the work and defining and analyzing and researching the initiatives to ensure that they are meeting the objective and that they're in line with what Cabinet is seeking to do. There will be a data analyst position also being advertised, who essentially is an economist who makes sure that these changes are all in line and in the best interest of the economic development of the territory. And that will be supplemented by a communication specialist and an administrator and myself.
Julian Johnson will replace Kedrick Malone as head of the recently rebranded BVI Finance. The financial services consultancy conducted by McKinsey & Company was done in 3 phases. It also included a review of previous work undertaken by government. The project team consulted with several committees made up of the public sector representatives, a wide cross-section of domestic private sector practitioners, and other BVI international practitioners in Latin America, Europe, and Asia.